Hey everybody, I'm doing my video a little bit different today. I look terrible. I had like no sleep last night, so I don't know how helpful that is for doing this video. But today I finished my 7th infusion of Tepezza. The dosage I get is 2,000 milligrams every 3 weeks. And it can be different. A lot of it's based on your height, weight, and all of that. I did take some photos. I'll try to put them in the comments of where I'm at. Obviously, sorry again, I look terrible today. But the redness is around my eyes is mostly from allergies because I live in the desert and it is super dusty here. But so again, my 7th infusion. I started this almost 6 months ago. I guess it's taken about 6 months. That's 8 infusions, 3 weeks, something like that. 24 weeks, right? Something like that. So, anyway, so started my infusions, a while back. It's definitely like an upward trajectory to get started for sure. Yeah, you can see still. I should have taken that off earlier, but anyway, so 7th infusion. I definitely noticed vast improvement. The swelling is almost completely gone. You can see that there's like some excess skin. The Tepezza has worked so well that I probably will not be able to get my insurance to cover what they call a blepharoplasty, which is where they take the excess skin from around your eyes. But I think I might be able to. We'll see. But for the most part, like the fact that I can see is great because what happened is 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with hyperthyroidism. I was living in a whole different tiny city with far away from major medical care, and I had hyperthyroidism. And so to treat it, my doctor decided, and it's most common when you have an overactive thyroid or underactive thyroid, they'll do radioactive iodine uptake therapy, or it's called RAIU. And what that did to me is in general, it's supposed to actually kill your thyroid. It did not kill my thyroid. It made it more active. And so basically you take a radioactive iodine tablet. They do like an x-ray or an image of it, of your, like a live x-ray of your thyroid after 15 minutes of you waiting after you take the tablet. So you take this radioactive iodine tablet. You wait about 15 or 20 minutes, maybe longer. Shouldn't be too much longer though, because it's obviously radioactive. So you take that, and then what they do is they do like a live x-ray, right, of this area to see how much of the iodine has been taken in by your thyroid. And if it should actually kill your thyroid, essentially making you go from being overactive to underactive. Well, that wasn't the case with mine. It stayed overactive. A few days after that fun opportunity for therapy, I woke up in the morning and my eyes were like just bulging. I have, again, I'll post pictures. There's still a lot of excess skin now, but there was a lot more fluid, and it looked like wasps had literally like stung me like all around my eye, and it just was huge. I also was living at a high altitude, so it was a little rough. I started to go blind. I started having a lot of issues. I got kicked out of I didn't get kicked out, but I had to leave my graduate program and not pursue my hopes of becoming a dietitian at the time, because for clinicals you can't really be blind, and trying to help people nutritionally by intubating them. So, or, yeah, if you know what intubating is, you can't be blind to do it. So, long story short, that's where I was 2 years ago. After 6 months of telling me it was just after 6 months of telling me it was just allergies, that was my ENT and my primary care doctor going back and forth. Oh, it's just allergies, just allergies. I knew it was not allergies. I knew it had to be something with my thyroid. I did a lot of research and I found out I had thyroid eye disease. Well, 6-7 months, I was going blind, waking up every day. I could see less and less, vision issues, headaches, just my quality of life drastically went downhill, and I couldn't drive. I couldn't do a lot of my basic simple independent functions anymore. So I moved home with my family and saw a neuro-ophthalmologist. There's a few in the state. Luckily, one I'd already been seen before for intracranial hypertension, which is not relative to the thyroid issues at all. It was from a long time ago, but I was able to get in to see her really quick when I got to town, when I moved home, and she treated me right away with prednisone. I tried corticosteroids via IV and wound up gaining weight. So needless to say, it's been a little bit of a miserable process, but I found out about Tepezza like late 2019, and I was super excited about it. So I'd actually asked I had read up on some of the trials and everything, and I asked my eye doctor, my neuro-ophthalmologist, about it in January, and she's like, oh, I just happen to have had a representative here from Tepezza, blah, blah, blah. So she actually went ahead and wrote me a script for it, and I went through several denials with my insurance. They denied my appeals. They denied my doctor's peer-to-peer review. Somehow, right before the pandemic, it was actually after the pandemic hit, but yeah, so it was like a 3 to 4 month process to get it approved. A lot of blood, sweat, and tears, but I stayed the course, and I kept harassing them, kept bugging the patient advocate for me, my patient advocate at Tepezza, and eventually it got approved for in-home infusion, which actually has been amazing because I haven't had to go to an infusion center. I have complete control over everything that's going on at home. And the deliveries are always timely. The nurse just comes right in, sets everything up. We do the infusion. The first infusion and second infusion will take longer than the other 6. The reason for that is the dosage is different. I believe it's half the amount that you'll have towards your last 4 infusions. Last 6 infusions. The first 2, I believe, are half of that dosage. So my first 2, I think, were about 1,000 milligrams. The side effects I've noticed, I don't like. Within the first 2 infusions that I had, I would say the swelling and my vision issues really improved quite rapidly. I didn't have a lot of double vision. It's still a little hazy, but I think that a lot of that is just, I still have a massive sensitivity to light because my eyes are hazel green, and they're just really light. Not light blue, like luckily, but like a light green, and I have a hard time being outside, and I live in Arizona. It's the worst. I love Arizona, but yeah, it's a little rough on my eyes, my poor eyes. So luckily I have a home infusion. The pharmacy is Horizon, and I believe Horizon Therapeutics is the manufacturer of Tepezza. So there's only a few specialty pharmacies I know in the United States who are contracted with them. One of them is a Credo, at least here in Arizona, is a Credo. And my nurse and everything is through a Credo, so I literally didn't have to do too much. The first couple of deliveries and infusions, until we got into a groove where, they call like the week before to schedule it. They ask if you need a signature, and then like some of the orders were missing things that the nurse needed, or there was too much stuff. So like I have these bags with all these excess, like some excess medical equipment, mostly just like extra gauze and sterile flushes and things like that I'm probably going to donate to a local homeless shelter or, a medical facility in need, like I did with my previous infusions of corticosteroids, where I had way too many extra things that they sent every week. So that's just something good to do if you do have at-home infusions, if you're lucky enough to do that. The infusion centers are great too, though. All you have to do for that, you just show up, bring a book, hang out. During the infusions, I haven't felt any change, any weird pressure in my eyes, had any issues. I haven't really felt any muscle pain, any headaches. I did, after the first few infusions, first 2 or so, I was still having symptoms from thyroid eye disease. So those really diminished within the first 3 to 4, especially once the dosage was increased by the 3rd infusion. So I feel like I have gotten my quality of life back. I've been almost out of work almost a year and a half now, hopefully going to go back. I was a flight attendant. I still am, but I don't know, given the pandemic and the issues that my eyes had at high altitude, I still, even just driving, have a little bit of issue with the altitude change in my eyes, which was actually one of the reasons I've been off work, is that the altitude with thyroid eye disease was causing excess pressure behind my eyes, and my eyes literally would almost pop out of my head during flight. And being a flight attendant, the crew, people don't need to see that. Luckily, nobody saw the couple times it happened, but I was grounded. I have been grounded for a year and a half now, and given the pandemic and everything else, I'm not entirely sure that I'm going to go back to that. While I've been off, I've managed to finish my graduate degree online. It was a lot of work, but I'm trying to use that to find another job. But I would say overall, being 7 infusions in with 1 more to go, my quality of life has increased a lot. I still am super exhausted. I had my thyroid taken out November 2019. Before that, I was hyperthyroid, so I was overactive, and I was all over the place. Like, I had so much energy. I was losing weight. I felt wonderful, and now I wish I could have just a little bit of that energy back, because I am exhausted all the time. And I know that's a combination of the fact that, like, right when I started the Tepezza, my body had started to adjust my full thyroid levels. I take a full thyroid replacement called Armor Thyroid once a day, and you have to take it at the same time every day. You can't screw that up, and I have that for the rest of my life. So on top of a lot of multivitamins for bariatrics. So I am definitely a mess. I could use a new body, but I don't think science is going to be there in my lifetime. So this is what we get. We get orphan medications, which an orphan medication is what Tepezza is. It's the first medication of its kind for this disease. It's the only treatment other than corticosteroids that's approved by the FDA for that. And so the FDA refers to that as an orphan medication. I know there's a little bit more to it, but it's not worth going into. So just so you know, it is a really hard process because the medication, I know, I don't know why. I did ask, and when it was denied originally, the price was the biggest issue, because I want state insurance, and it was over $200,000 for all 8 treatments. So not each treatment, but for the entire treatment, for at-home infusions and deliveries and the nurse and everything like that, which is really expensive. Obviously, they want you to go and do the orbital decompression surgery instead of this medication. So I did not want to do orbital decompression surgery because that is a very invasive surgery, and I've seen a lot of people who have thyroid eye disease who've had those surgeries over and over, and it's still like it just keeps coming back. I'm hopeful that this medication will offer some long-term efficacy or long-term treatment where I hopefully might not need the infusions again, but if I had to do the infusions again, I would for sure, just so I can see and function and not have to deal with massive swelling or double vision or hazy vision. So what I'm noticing now from the Tepezza itself is just a lot of fatigue, a lot of weakness. All I can recommend is that you really shouldn't overdo it the day before, the day of, and the day after your infusions. Just try to relax. Don't take on too much. Try not to stress, and let your body heal. Your body's going to tell you need to sleep. Like, that's the most important thing you can do for yourself during this process, is get that rest if you have the ability to do it. I'm not working right now. I'm lucky enough to have really supportive family and partner and all of that in life, and I've been really blessed with getting some state benefits to help me throughout this process and during the pandemic. So I've not had to struggle too much, but I do know that there are plenty of people who have this disease and struggle insurmountably and horribly, and even people have commented on my videos about this medication or what they've gone through. And I know that this medication is only for people in an active phase. I'm hopeful that it will lead to research for more treatments for thyroid eye disease, and more treatments that will provide long-term relief from the disease, if not eventually a cure. But I know, a lot of that stuff just takes time, and unfortunately science is not perfect. It is a trial and error kind of thing. People, have to go through this process and try these different treatments and hope that they work. It's not going to work the same for me as it will for you or someone else. These are just my experiences and what I've been through. I am not a doctor. I'm just sharing my experiences with this medication because I think it's important for people to have an idea kind of what they're getting into, how difficult it can be, and what it might put your body through. Like I said, luckily I've had my 7th infusion. I'm feeling pretty good, minus again being tired and weak like all the time. But aside from that, I'll take that and being able to see and drive and take care of myself a little bit more independently. So sorry, my hair, I'm such a mess, but it's just it's just me. And my adrenals are bad because I didn't sleep. So, but like aside from those issues, my eyes and my vision have really improved drastically, and I'm grateful. This prescription really isn't even that great anymore, and my doctor will not give me a new one until after my treatment's completed, and I can have more steady improvement. There are times throughout the day I feel like my eyesight like fluctuates, but I don't have the double vision. I do notice when I'm outside with the daylight, and even at night, it is harder for me without glasses and without a prescription. I do get a little bit of the halo effect from lights, street lights, a little bit. It is a little hazy sometimes. Some of that's also, we have a lot of pollution in the air, and I know a lot of people are dealing with the wildfires and just all that crazy stuff. So, it's possible that that's a combination of factors, including my eyes still healing too. So, that's just where I'm at with all of this, and I just again wanting to share these experiences. I'll try to get some pictures posted, or you can always look back at my other videos that I've done, just to look at the changes in my eyesight. And I hope that other people that have questions, feel free to ask. Let me know, if there's any assistance I can be. I'm happy to do so, as much as possible, except for paying for it. I'm not working, so you're gonna have to get your own coverage. Sorry. But again, not a doctor, but I'm definitely happy to answer whatever questions I can about the medication and the process for it, and how to move forward, getting help with it. I know the Tepezza website is really the mainstay. Like, once you go on there and sign up, a patient advocate will be in touch with you almost immediately or within a day or two, and will be calling you to help you start working through the process, and they'll help you with the insurance and working with your doctor, and helping push some stuff as much as they can push along. You have to, obviously it's HIPAA, due to HIPAA, you have to give them authorization for that because it's your personal information, and they are not a doctor specifically. They just work for the manufacturer to, again, be a patient advocate. So definitely take advantage of them too. Super helpful. I'm grateful for Brandy McCracken. She's been super great. Anyway, I think that's about all I have to say on this for now. And I hope, gosh darn it, I don't know if it paused. I got a phone call, sorry. But I am gonna end my video. Please let me know if you have any questions or if there's anything I could do. Sorry I look terrible. I did have a video, I didn't sleep last night. So anyway, I'm gonna try to go post these pictures and my other pictures and go from there. Hope everyone's doing well, and please reach out if you would like to. Bye.